Traveling home after the Thanksgiving holiday, they thought it was just a shortcut, but for the Kim family, it became their worst nightmare. SHTF doesn't have to mean the world is ending. It simply means you're caught off guard in a bad situation and you're not prepared. In today's video, I'm going to cover the essentials you should have with you and in your car at all times so the worst doesn't happen to you this winter. My name's Jeff, and a few years ago, with an approaching winter storm, my wife and I decided to head to the store about 30 minutes away to get some additional supplies and stock up. The storm arrived earlier than we expected, and we found ourselves driving home in a complete whiteout. We were only about 10 minutes from home when a huge multi-car pileup blocked our way. At that moment, if I had been able to turn around and find a different route, I would have done it immediately without even thinking twice. In this case, we weren't able to turn around and had to sit and wait it out for 10 hours. Every year, people get lost because they deviate from their original plan or route. They follow a map or a GPS in a snowstorm with extremely poor visibility into unfamiliar territory. This should be a giant red flag waving in our front of our faces, saying, "Stop, don't do it, don't go there." You might be thinking this could never happen to me, but it happens fast and it happens in an instant without even realizing it. Question for you: could you survive right now for 24 hours or 3 days or 3 weeks if your car got stuck or slid off the road in some remote area that you didn't plan on being in? Would you run out of gas? Or what if your GPS took you to somewhere where there was no cell service? What happens next? Most people who die in the wilderness didn't plan on being there in the first place. First and foremost, never let the gas tank in your vehicle get below a half a tank. Fortunately for my wife and I, when we headed out to the store that day, we had filled up with gas that morning. I was really thankful that we had a full tank when it all happened. I watched numerous vehicles as it got dark, and I know they were fighting to try and stay warm, but they were also worried about running out of gas, and none of us knew how long we were going to be there. Secondly, make sure you've got water in your vehicle. Usually a couple of gallons of water would suffice. That was one of the things my wife and I didn't have in the car that day, and ever since then, I always travel with a gallon of water. I found myself packing my water bottle with snow just to put it on the dash and try and warm it so we'd have some drinking water. Again, we didn't know if we were going to be there for a few hours. Having some blankets or sleeping bags in your car that you could bundle up with and stay warm in the event that you did have to shut off your car to conserve fuel. That's another critical element that you need to think about. The next item is having headlamps or emergency lights, preferably ones that have a white flashing strobe or a red flashing strobe or both. That way you can use it as a signaling device in addition to just providing light for you if you had to evacuate and leave your vehicle. Having a way to be able to see as you're walking is critical. Next on my list is having some food in your car. It could be the form of MREs. I would also recommend you grab a pack of those emergency food ration survival bars and throw those in your trunk. They taste horrible. You're probably never going to use them. In a pinch and you need calories, they're going to save your life. This next one, a lot of people don't think about, but having a bright orange or fluorescent orange signal panel that you can put out over the snow or over your vehicle in the event that you're trapped somewhere, those are really easily visible and seen from above. That's the number one thing that stands out against a white background for search and rescue to be able to find you. That can be in the form of an emergency poncho or bivy or tent or even an emergency blanket. They have those orange ones. Throw a couple of those in your bag. That way, in the event that you need them for staying warm, if you've got to leave your vehicle, or if you've got to use it as a signal panel on your vehicle, that's going to enable help to find you. I also recommend that you keep extra winter clothes in your car. That would be winter boots, gloves, a beanie, a jacket or a coat, winter pants, and maybe even some snow goggles. If you've got to leave your vehicle because you've got no other option, you need to be able to sustain yourself through whatever the winter is throwing at you. If it's a winter storm hampering search and rescue efforts, it's going to be even harder for you to evacuate, and that snow is continuing to pile up. Next on my list is emergency road flares. These serve several purposes. They can serve to signal in the event that you're in an accident on the road, warning other drivers, "Hey, I'm here, don't hit me." It can act as a signal flare to signal for help if search and rescue is trying to find you. And the most important thing, it can help you start a fire really fast. I've heard several stories already of families who were trapped, who were stuck, and they literally took the wheels and tires off their vehicle and burned their tires just to stay warm. Starting a fire in the wintertime when everything is wet and cold is extremely difficult. Those roadside flares will stay burning long enough to get a fire going. Which leads me to my next thing. I suggest you have a folding saw and a hatchet in your car as well. That way, if you've got to get some firewood to start a fire and keep it going, you have the ability to do so. One of the biggest things you can do to get help to find you is build the biggest, baddest bonfire you've ever built in your life. And that's going to require a lot of wood. And you need to get it burning and keep it going. So that axe or hatchet and that saw is going to go a long ways in helping help find you. If you've got space, throw one of those little foldable or collapsible snow shovels and some ice melt in your car. Sometimes you're just stuck on a little bit of ice and you just can't get any traction to get out of there. Those two items can go a long ways to helping you get unstuck, and maybe you don't have to wait for help to come to you. The last thing I'm going to recommend is having a spare cord to charge your phone and possibly a solar charging power bank. That way, in the event that you have to leave your vehicle to find help, you can take your phone and your charger with you, keep your phone going as you're trying to find help. I've seen several stories where people had to leave their vehicle and their phone died and they weren't able to call for help. Unfortunately, most of the time they're found and it's too late. So having a way to keep your phone charged, if you can get to a mountaintop or a peak or somewhere where there is signal, you can call out for help and get help to you as soon as possible. If you think I've left anything out or you have a different suggestion, throw it in the comments. I love to hear your ideas, and I love the fact that we can all learn from each other here in this community. Oh yeah, if you're wondering what happened to the Kim family, I'll pin a link to that story in the comments. If you choose to watch it, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Would you have been prepared? Would you have been able to survive? If not, make sure to download your free Evac-Pack ebook and start building yours today. Until next time, keep practicing, keep prepping, and stay safe. American Thrivalist out.